Hello there everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Super Metroid Suitless. Last time we entered Norfair and we took a shit ton of damage while doing so. So now it's time to finally get the speed booster. That's what we were going for. I refilled my energy a little bit at the end of the last part, and so we now have 1 energy tank and 86 energy units, which should be enough to hopefully make it to the speed booster. Let me kill those enemies here. There's also a flying dude up there somewhere. Couldn't find him right now. He could get in the way of my wall jumps now, but let's go for it. Yep, we successfully did it. And now let's see if we do have enough energy to make it past this part. And refill up my energy. And indeed, I had totally enough to make it through here. I had more than 1 energy tank left as I touched those energy units. It's a really good thing that there is 5 enemies at the same time here, because that allows you to allows us to refill energy more quickly than we lose it, which means that we can heal up here. And that's really nice of the developers that they've put those enemies here. It's almost as if they have thought of people doing suitless runs here, but of course that's not true. This is just a very, very generous energy refill station, so to speak. We do, however, only really refill our energy if those enemies drop large energy refills. We should be full now. Let me look at our reserves tanks. 89 energy units there. We should be fine now. Let's just go. We're now at the famous room before the speed booster, where we are just holding down the run button and going to the right. We would take major damage if we fall down somewhere, and then we just shoot upwards and then grab a random missile pack that's hidden under a destroyable block at the ceiling, just like in real life. And now we're at 80 missiles total, and here there finally is the speed booster, which is a very, very, very important item. There's no way that we could be doing this run without the speed booster. Let's just quickly escape here. The speed booster animation looks weird when you're taking damage from the heat. The animation where Samus flashes blue doesn't really show up, because instead Samus is flashing white because she takes damage from the heat. So that's an interesting thing to see here. And now it's time to fully replenish our health again, because we're going to get the wave beam, and we absolutely need every single unit of energy for that. Because the wave beam area is very, very tight, and I do remember that in my previous Suitless run I actually died a few times trying to get the wave beam. It's definitely not a trivial matter. Let's go and hopefully be able to do it. Defeated that enemy with a charged spacer shot, that floating red orb guy. It's absolutely important that we do not fall down here. And then we grab a random missile expansion that's in the way. And then it's time to do this wall jump and another one. Open the door. I think we're doing fairly well. And there we go, and grab the wave beam. So unfortunately, in this room I now always tend to fall into the spikes, like so, and that deals a lot of damage. Oh, I actually made the jump this time. I usually don't make that. That saved us a ton of health. I killed that enemy as it still was stuck in the wall, and we easily made it here. It's because I made that jump up to the platform in the room before the wave beam that allowed us to make our escape a lot faster, and I still do have my full reserve tank. So yeah, that went really good. We are also back to full super missiles, which means that we can potentially perform a what's it called? A crystal flash. We're not going to get the reserve tank, which is hidden up there yet, because that would require us to refill all our health, which simply would take too long right now. I'll grab that reserve tank later. Fortunately, with the speed booster, we are now able to make our escape a lot more quickly here. We can just run through this room instead. And now let me grab the energy tank that I've left in the high jump boots room. That's pretty much the reason why we've left that energy tank here. It's so that we can refill our energy more quickly. We were basically planning ahead here and not grabbing, and we weren't grabbing that energy tank as we passed this room the first time when we grabbed the high jump boots. Because now with full energy, we can go and grab the ice beam and enter Crocomire's area. I hope that's how you pronounce that boss's name. Okay, let me run through here and quickly jump, because there are some lava pits here, like that. Okay, there we go. And then let's get to the ice beam more quickly by jumping up and morphing here. Ah, crap. Couldn't quite make it before those enemies here. Means that we've lost quite a bit of health. But there we go. It's ice beam time. That's also a very useful item, because being able to freeze enemies and using them as stepping stones will provide to be quite helpful. Let me grab that large energy refill actually. And let's go back down and exit via the way that we came instead of going that other way up. We just go back down here again, and now we will use power bombs to drop down here. As you can see, there's power bomb blocks there, and we will be entering Crocomire's area, and we will be grabbing the Grappling Beam and some energy tanks. Okay, there we go. Defeated all the enemies. Let's carefully go through here. Did we? Oh shit. Okay, I froze the enemy like that. Then I did a single wall jump and it kind of failed. And there we go. We now grab the missile expansion. That didn't exactly go perfectly, though. I think I will have to crystal flash. Yeah, better be safe than sorry. I guess we are going to crystal flash. We will need to use up our reserve tank for that. You can't do the crystal flash if you still have energy in your reserve tank. We do have 10 super missiles. Hopefully this is enough for the crystal flash. You do need 11 power bombs because you need to plant one, and then you lose another 10. Yeah, that worked. Thank God. Okay, that didn't go as planned. I didn't want to crystal flash, but I guess I had no other choice. Did you see that? That was a glitch. I activated speed booster, but that enemy still did damage. I now don't have any super missiles, so I have to kill one of these guys. There we go. And now it's time. What the hell? Fire the super missile, goddammit. Now it's time to fight Crocomire. Hey there, Crocomire, how's it? Let's just wait for you to open your fat mouth. And you do some weird stuff with your arms, and then you'll open your mouth again, and then we'll just fire the charge beam at you. Oh, Jesus, help. Yeah, normal missiles really don't do much. Better use... Oh, miss. I missed with that super missile. You better use super missiles or charge shots. Or, as I just did there, at least fire 2 missiles at in his mouth at once. So yes, in the previous room, that was an unfortunate glitch. This basically happens if you don't have the barrier suit and you take damage from the heat. Sometimes your speed booster will glitch a little bit then, and that's why I took damage from the space pirate rather than killing him with the speed booster. Let us do something productive while Crocomire melts in the acid. Like grabbing this energy tank, for example. We're already at 7 in total now. As you can see, that acid deals a ton of damage. Already lost more than 1 energy tank. Now we'll have to wait for Crocomire to swim to the left side here and destroy the spike wall. So yes, the speed booster, if you're taking damage from the heat, doesn't only glitch graphically, but also it glitches in its effect. Like in the previous room, we were destroying speed booster blocks by running across them with full speed. And sometimes, if you do not have the barrier suit, then you will not break those blocks. It will glitch out and you will stop when you hit those. Stop when you hit those blocks, and that's very annoying. It fortunately didn't happen this time. We successfully destroyed those speed booster blocks, but yeah, this is not always the case when you don't have barrier suit, which is really, really weird. Let us again refill all our energy, and then let's almost get an early power bomb here. There's this ripper up here, this special green ripper, which you can latch onto with the grappling beam. And I'm not actually sure if the developers wanted you to use that to get the power bombs here, but in fact you can just, as you can see there, do a normal jump to the left in order to grab those power bombs here. So basically I'm not even sure if they expected you to use the grappling beam guy to get those power bombs, or if they were just putting him there for shits and giggles maybe, so you could... Maybe they were thinking, the developers, that to do this jump up here is really difficult, and to use the grappling beam here would be easier, but yeah, this is a really, really weird thing. I really don't know what they were thinking here, but you can indeed just get that missile, that power bomb expansion with a normal jump. There's a missile expansion hidden behind that door, but it takes too long to get, honestly. It's a pointless room, and we would have to walk all the way to the right, and I just don't want to do that. So that'll be one of the first missile expansions that I'm going to miss out on. So some speed booster blocks. For some reason I thought that we could destroy those with power bombs. Let us do a quick jump to the left and then a shine spark, and that should be enough to land us in front of this missile expansion. So we're at an amazing 95 already. We could be at 100 if we decided to go for that other missile expansion, but as I said, it would have been too much of a waste of time. So then we do a super jump up there, and then we get the grappling beam, which is incredibly useful. This is going to be so vital in Meridia. I can't tell you how insanely useful it's going to be there. It's basically a lifesaver. Meridia would be a ton more difficult without the grappling beam. And there's actually a relatively new low percent category, the 14% X ice. No, what am I talking about? There is a relatively new low percent category, the 14%. Wait, yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. The 14% X ice, where you collect the X-ray scope and the ice beam, but you skip the gravity suit. And that is extremely difficult to do, because you would have to make it through Meridia without high jump, without the gravity suit, and without the grappling beam. And that's just a terrible combo. That just makes some rooms incredibly difficult. And in fact, if you fuck those rooms up once, then you will be stuck forever. So yeah, not having gravity suit and not having the grappling beam at the same time is incredibly problematic in Meridia. So that's why we really want the grappling beam in this casual whoops, shine sparked there by accident, in this casual suitless run here. Let us quickly exit via this path right here. Does this actually lead to... ah yes, it does lead to this room, which I think contains another missile expansion. Let us use the grappling beam for the first time. There we go, and now we have 100 missiles in total. Didn't take us long to reach that mark at all. So let us fire a super missile here. And at this point, I guess it's time to actually exit Norfair. We've been here for a long time enough, I guess. So with the grappling beam and with the speed booster, we can now take down Wreckage Ship. Speed booster would be enough for me, because I could just shine spark through the grappling beam pit in Crateria. But yeah, the continuous wall jump or the diagonal bomb jump would be way too difficult. So I do need at least either the speed booster or the grappling beam to make it to Wreckage Ship. And since we do now in fact have both of them, we are more than ready to finally indeed take down the Wreckage Ship. Whoops. Fell into the spike pit there by accident. Now with the ice beam, it's a lot easier to escape this room. The only other way I could think of doing this room is to use an infinite bomb jump. I defeated that health-sucking enemy dude there to get a power bomb. Not sure if we are ever going to actually need that power bomb. I mean, we have 22, we're probably not going to use them anytime soon, but I decided to get them anyway. So let us quickly make it through this room. We don't actually need to bother with the enemies, we don't need to refill anything, because we're doing fine. Let's kill these cactus dudes, and then it's time to save, because this is basically the last opportunity that we get to save before Fantoon. And I will see you guys at the next part.